Today is my wife's worst nightmare come true. I'm going to try to convince everybody why I think we should all act even more like little kids. Hey, this is Austin Bristow with another thought from Designed for Discipline, and today I want to share with you some observations I've made recently with our oldest child, our toddler son, who's about a year and a half old. For those of you who have kids and even those who don't, I think a lot of us can agree that children in general are pretty amazing. Number one, obviously, for things like their tantrums, you can flip a switch like that and things just totally lose control. On the other end, the spectrum rather, a kid's ability to show compassion and empathy in certain situations, given their age and their life experience, is really inspiring sometimes. And the point I want to share today is actually as it relates to the idea of community. Our son, about, a few months ago, back in the fall, started wanting to taking a couple of his stuffed animals to naps and to bed at night with him, which obviously we didn't care about. That was totally fine. Soon though, those animals also started being brought to meals up at the table, and he always wanted to make sure that his animals were able to either taste his food first or drink some of his milk first, and he was always looking out for his animals. And obviously as a parent, it's really cute. You love that your kid has some favorite stuffed animals. But I realized it also applies to us as adults, because there's a really inspiring sense of community to me in what he's doing with his stuffed animals, and a couple of key takeaways from how he treats them that, for me, it's something I want to be able to do in my personal life. The first takeaway for me is the fact that he has a small community of people that he's very close with on a regular basis. And really for him, it's his horse and his polar bear are the two animals that he most gravitates towards. The rest he's cool with, he'll hang out with them, but the monkey, the duck, the lamb, and even a different stuffed animal, they all kind of sit on the shelf most of the time during the day. It's the horse and the polar bear who have really become his close buddies. So having a small group of people is something that's important. For me, this is something that I try to do. I've got a couple of friends who I consider most close to me, and it's important to me on a regular basis to get to spend one-on-one time with them. A particular friend of mine and I, for a little over a year now, have gotten together, I think, at least once a month, every month, for coffee. We talk about life, talk about what's going on. It's a great way to build a relationship very closely with just a single person, because a lot of times as we become adults and we get older, we get busy, we don't have a lot of time to invest heavily or very deeply into a lot of relationships. So having a smaller group of people that we really try to focus our time on is really important to building a greater sense of community in our lives. The other thing that I think he does great is he invests in them. He sacrifices, or tries to sacrifice, his own resources in order for his friends, his buddies, to be able to be better off. Again, it's usually at mealtime. He always wants to make sure that they get a drink first, that they get his food first, and even sometimes that they wear his bib before he wears his own bib at the table. And this is something that I think with relationships is tough for us to do. It's easy for us in our own schedules and in our busy lives to get caught up in our day-to-day grind, and it's difficult, or I guess it's easy sometimes, to forget little things, to be able to do little things for those people who we want to be close to us and who we do consider close to us. It can even be just as simple as checking in on something that you know they've been going through, but we get so wrapped up in our own minds, we don't necessarily do a great job of reaching out to them to make sure that they're doing well on that particular day. So those are the couple of things that I want to try to do to be a little more childlike, so to speak, and I just wanted to share them with you because I thought it was something that we could all apply to the relationships around us. That's all I've got for today. I appreciate you checking in, and we'll talk to you again soon.